on that particular note, Nightwish fan says for $5, high low on Acolyte getting willowed, and I love
Pretty
that
good.
more people are getting around
What's
to
the rating?
using that term.
Does anybody remember what the final minutes watched was for Willow?
No, but I'm sure
Compare
it was,
that to the Acolyte, which is also very low.
Yeah, I would say they're probably comparable.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
if you were to just guess Yellow Flash, what do you think are like the percentage chances of the Acolyte getting willowed?
I guess it'll depend on if it's up to Kathleen Kennedy or not.
I don't think so. I don't think that she was the one that decided to willow in the first place. I think
she might have signed off on it, though. We don't know.
No, we don't know, but I would be surprised if she even had the vote in that decision. If the CFO decide in the company says that no, this thing has to go, I make that call as a CFO, I think that he can overrule any objection that she might have.
But I'd say that I agree. There's a good chance it could get become a tax write-off, which I think would be really funny.
It would be so hilarious. And especially since it would have happened to then 2 Lucasfilm productions. That's like such a credit to Kathleen Kennedy's legacy right there. Tom, if you were to put a percentage on it, what do you think is the percentage chances of Acolyte actually getting willowed?
Less than Willow, because I think a lot less people watched Willow. And I wonder, because there's got to be a stipulation on, you can't just start memory holing and tax writing these things off if people have already seen them enough. I'm sure there's got to be a level of like, unless it's less than this amount of views, I don't know if they can necessarily write it off. I'm not sure how that works.
I think it's a matter of how long it's been and how much
that could be very well too.
There is just much more likely than how many people saw it. It doesn't matter if 1 million people saw it if they all canceled Disney Plus afterwards. There's no money.
Maybe, but how do you prove that to the tax part? Like, see, that's the thing. That's why I wish like Mikey or somebody was here to kind of, because like I don't know how that part works. Because I would imagine that at least twice as many people watched Acolyte as Willow, maybe at most, but otherwise it was probably comparable. But like nobody watched Willow, right? Like in the grand scheme of things, like that's how bad that was. Same thing with Turner and Hooch and some of the other shows that they canceled. So in this case, though, people were actually watching it at first. It just fell off a cliff. And let's be real, it's more of an embarrassment because of the type of show it is. Because you even, this was, and I remember comparing it to, and I'm standing by it, this was basically the Velma moment of Star Wars. Because you even had a large portion of the other side of people going, yeah, no, we can't do this. This is just too fucking far. Right? So there's only literally just those few hangers on that are left. Like probably just those 4 people that are in Steph's video. That's pretty much shows you how popular this show is. Compare that to the video they did at the beginning of the show, right? Where there was tons of them compared to now. Like, I don't even see anybody saying shit and trying to defend this film. And we've seen the signatures. Like, that is sad. The video we dropped yesterday, like, they haven't even got that many more signatures since yesterday.
What's it at now? It's at 5,000 yesterday.
It was at 8 when we did our video. Let me see here. Petition. All right. It is sitting at 21,000 votes right now. Almost 22.
Yeah, which is and that's after getting press all over the world, and we don't know how many of those 21,000 are real, legit signatures.
So basically, the loud area of X is carrying that.
I'll sign up to save it. We could use the money.
We got many people in that even said that they had signed up because they want more ridicule and they want Disney to lose more money on it.
Don't let the haters win.
This is not the scientific thing, but even okay, fine. So there's 20 signatures now. As I said in the video from yesterday, 2 days in, it needed to be 50,000 signatures for it to be good, and it needs to be 100,000 by the end of the weekend. I mean, that would be indicative of an audience. Remember, as it is right now, if you had done a petition for Save Batwoman, you would expect higher numbers than these. because that show had slightly less than 1 million in average viewers. So what we are talking about here is that so far you have like not even 10% of the viewership of the Batwoman that has signed up to see this renewed. I think if you had done a poll for Batwoman, more people would have signed that by now than this. 20,000 may sound impressive, but it really isn't.
Well, and that goes to show you also the kind of reach that some of these streaming shows and channels have, right? Because CW, just by the fact of being a network and people just kind of had to deal with it just in their daily lives at some point, more people, you're right, more people probably were aware of Batwoman than were like if we went up and polled 100 people on the street right now, I'm willing to bet that 80% of those people wouldn't even know what the fuck Acolyte is. But if you asked them about Batwoman, they would either know of the CW series or have heard of the character at least. So like you're looking at maybe 30% would know what the series is, and maybe another 10, 15, 20% would at least know the character if they weren't aware of the series, right? And I know those are low numbers, but think about that for a minute. I'm willing to bet like 10% of the population probably knows what the show is. And if you even said it was something Star Wars, they would still be like, I never heard of it. I guarantee, like, that's what I'm saying. Because, I mean, I remember when The Mandalorian was big, I'm like, who's watching the show besides us? Because I had one of the first Baby Yoda shirts out there, right? And every time somebody saw it, they would freak out. And they're like, where did you get it? All this kind of stuff like that. And I would ask them, what did you think of the show? Oh, well, I haven't watched the show, but my kids love Baby Yoda. That was the most common thing I would hear all the time. So it really makes me wonder how many people actually really watch these shows. Because I'm almost positive that Mandalorian being the most popular of the bunch, sure, it had some viewers, but if you look at their numbers, those aren't even like some of the, like we were talking about Star Trek before. Star Trek Enterprise got canceled with 4 million average viewers a week. They're lucky if they're doing that with these shows. That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
right?
There's
like,
no way.
That's what I mean. Like so just to kind of give you where I'm coming from with this. And if Mando was a show that was on a network like ABC, I guarantee you it'd probably be at least in the top 20 of the week because it's Star Wars. But they don't really, I don't think people seek this shit out so much anymore. They don't advertise this shit anymore. We've talked about how the seasons are all fucked up. Nobody knows when a show is on anymore. There is no reason for anybody to go out of their way to watch The Acolyte, let alone half these other Star Wars shows. So
yeah,
if it gets willowed, I wouldn't be surprised, I guess, to answer that question. Sorry.
Yeah. And to put a percent, I'm going to give it 30% chance. I think it's 70% chance that it doesn't get willowed and 30% chance that it does.
Yeah, I think it has a less of a chance than Willow, but I wouldn't be surprised if it does, basically.
At 30%, I am not surprised, but I think it's more likely than it stays than that it doesn't stay, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
This clip was taken from Midnight's Edge in the Morning, which streams live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 9 AM Pacific Time on the Midnight's Edge main channel. There, you can send in your live questions and comments before clips and full stream replays are uploaded to Midnight's Edge live archives. We are also on Twitter, Rumble, Odyssey, and Facebook, so smash that like, help share, subscribe, and join us.